Yeah.
And
Yay, Robin.
Robin, do you want to record that? Why is your fathom here?
You're muted, Robin.
Um,
I don't know how to.
All right. I just invite, even those on this call, we can just go ahead and close our eyes for a minute as we're getting ready to convene this space. First of all, welcoming everyone. I'm just inviting you, just go ahead and start by closing your eyes and becoming present to this moment. Just inviting everyone to close your eyes and just feel your breath. Feel your heart beating. Feel the gravity, the ground underneath you, holding you. Just recognizing those three things, your breath, your heartbeat, and gravity, all of it holding you most of the time beneath your awareness. Not even aware, but it's keeping you safe and alive. And just feeling this web of love, also invisible to us most of the time, but sustaining us and connecting us, the things that we see and also the ones we don't see, the ones that we love that we can hug, and those who have passed that we can still love and still love us, and feeling their impact. Feeling so held, so safe today. Just invite everyone to take a deep breath in, letting out a sigh, deep breath in. As you open your eyes and maybe you scroll through the beautiful faces that have joined us today from all over the world, as we honor these people that we love who've left their body. Dr. Ram, he would say, never ask, when are you going to die? Ask, when are you going to leave your body? He said that to Jack Canfield, actually, when he was here, and when he was in India with us. Just looking at these faces, Beverly, so good to see you here. Melissa Walker, so good to see you here. I'm so glad to see you here. El Mao, joining from Senegal, so good to see you here. Heidi, gold welcome, so good to see you here. John, Jan, Jen, so good to see you here. Hope, thank you for joining. Esther Francis, Judith Clark.
You want to put on the
I'm in the move.
Oh, got some great voices there. Welcome, welcome. Cole's best friend, Eric, thank you so much for joining us. Where are you joining from, Eric?
Surprisingly, California, of all places. It could be anywhere on the planet, but it happens to be here.
Oh, wow. Which part of California?
San Francisco.
San Francisco. Well,
Yeah.
I'm so glad that you're here. I want to hear something from you if you feel comfortable at some point when we're talking specifically about Cole. Barbara S., so honored to have you here as well. Jennifer, so beautiful to have you here. Judith Clark, Karen, Judy Lamar, Catherine. My brother Gerald's here. Gerald, can you unmute yourself? Just say hi just for a moment. So beautiful to have you joining us.
I am so honored that you're doing this call. We had someone that was really dear to us pass away this week, so it feels really relevant, and my heart's like really tender and just really grateful that you've pulled the community together and you do such meaningful things. So it's an honor to be here, and I just love you so much.
Yeah, thank you for being on the call. I know the person in your life that passed was only 13, something like that, or 15. It's a young.
She was 15.
15, yeah. Michael Smith, so glad you're here. Lynn, Mei Chen, so glad you're here. Nate Zelznik, wow, so glad you're here, brother. Nasib, Nahim, Nell and Jerem, Paola, welcome. I'm so glad you're here. Randy, Rhonda, Robin, Siobhan, Brandy, my cosmic sister. It's so good you're here. Brandy, you want to unmute yourself just real quick so people can hear your voice as well?
Hey, loves. Thank you for putting this together.
I know that, man, it's like some level, we know death is an illusion. We know death isn't the end, you know, and it's beautiful on this call. We even have a couple people who have actually died, like physically their heart stopped, Afsana dead, no heartbeat, no brain activity for 48 minutes. And I don't know if she's on the call already. And Lisa Lowe, who's joining the call today, also died. And, you know, it's like cognitively, I know that it's a beautiful thing to die, actually. It's like those who die they don't have a bad experience. There's a really beautiful experience, but at the same time, it's like hard. At least it's been hard for me. And so I'm so glad even to meet with you and see all everyone's faces and Shifra and Katie and Carol and Cecilia, Ferris, Linda, Max, you know, all these names of people, Rachel, Farah Lane, so glad you're here, Rick, Sahara, Rodell, Sarah, so glad you're here, Sarah, Sean, Shelly, Sharon, Tim, Gail, you know, lots of names, Levi, that I didn't read, but I'm so glad you're here, you know, as we honor these amazing people who've been in our lives, you know, even Brandy and I were just talking about amazing that they were on the earth and that we knew them, you know, and Cornelia, you know, your dear friend, and the impact that he made on your life. I'm co-hosting this call with Cornelia. Cornelia, can you just say hi and just hear your voice for a moment as well?
Yeah, hello to everyone. And I'm really happy to be here today and share about my experience since the passing of my best friend of 22 years, just in January. And my experience with the grief and also the life that I have chosen to be on after his passing. And so I'm really happy to share that with all of you a little bit later on the call.
Yeah, it's really beautiful that you've walked the path of choosing to love and then now feeling all of this. Belle, so glad you're here. If there's anyone, Anya, anyone else, Christine, that I haven't mentioned, I just want to welcome you into this space. For those who are new on this call for the first time, it actually happens every Sunday, but just different topics every Sunday. We gather around the topic of ancient secrets of a master healer. And it's interesting because as I had worked on this book, which is now in 42 languages for over 10 years, I was not expecting that my teacher would pass, you know, at such a relatively young age compared to people in his lineage. And so this feeling of meeting remarkable people, super remarkable people, and then, I don't know, just feeling the feeling of having them leave their body sooner than I want, you know. And definitely Dr. Todd was that way, like such a remarkable man. And Cole, man, does anyone remember when Cole was on the Sunday call with us? And I was just watching it again yesterday, and you know, we're actually going to share some clips of that. And at the very end, I asked people who wants to have him on more, and everyone raised their hand, just because of like the insightfulness of this young man and the specialness of, you know, his soul's path is so remarkable. And then Cornelia was shared before about her experience with Jim and his passing. I just want to see who was on
Dr.
that call
Clint.
previously.
Dr.
Yeah, please.
Clint, I wonder why you forgot me. I don't. It's okay. God remember it's enough.
I definitely didn't forget you, Nehemiah. Sometimes when I read through the names pop around as new people come in, and so I can see it and then I can't see it. But I'm so glad you're here, Nehemiah.
It's okay. I'm so happy to be alive and to be here with everyone at this moment.
Oh, beautiful. So glad you're alive and with us as well. And then there's other people in our lives, you know, as we're sharing. Oh, Afsana, so glad you're here. Actually, if Afsana, can you just say hi real quick as well? We just hear your voice. She took work off today just so she could join us. I don't know if you can unmute yourself and just say hi, just really quick.
Namaste, everyone. Thank you very much for having me today. It is such a very important call, and every single cell in my body is feeling exactly what you're feeling about the losses. But what I have to tell you may hopefully change your mind a little bit, if not completely. Stay blessed. Thank you.
Good. We're very much looking forward to you sharing a little bit later on the call as well. And Deborah Ann, so grateful. And Renee, so grateful. And there's likely other names that I haven't spoken right now, but I'm grateful everyone is here. I don't think there's an accident that you're here. These calls are interactive, so as you are processing, not everyone will have a chance to share in the large group, but we'll go into breakout rooms at the end of the call, and we have some very specific questions that, the opening quote in this book and the way in which we guide these calls, it just says, "I didn't come to teach you, I came to love you, and love will teach you." And so I just invite you to keep your heart open to what love wants to teach you, and that even though these amazing people aren't physically in our lives, that Dr. Naram isn't physically here, that Dr. Todd and Cole and Jim and whoever else it is in your life that may come to you in these moments isn't physically here, that the imprint of that love remains, and that, yeah, that there's possibilities for even messages to come from love to you that can change your life forever. So having said that, I'm gonna pause my part just welcoming you. I'm gonna hand it to, what do we do, Cornelia? Should we actually go to Katie for announcements really quickly first? And before that, actually, we have a disclaimer that we'll just put up really briefly on the call. We have to do this for legal reasons because we talk about healing things that's really remarkable. And we just need to make sure, whatever you have medical concerns, please seek a medical professional, and just all the normal disclaimers that sometimes what we share on this call is not typical. It's incredibly remarkable. And so that's there. You could take that disclaimer down. And then let's maybe go to Katie real quick for announcements, and then Cornelia will guide us in a moment of silence to drop in, and then we'll start sharing about these remarkable people and go from there. Katie?
Good morning, afternoon, evening. So good to see you all. There are a bunch of announcements in the email newsletter. And what I wanted to make sure that people know is that every month, the last three, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday, we have, led by Deborah Ann, a rejuvenating detox. And that's happening right now. And if you've missed this one, it will be happening again next month. We will be having a 30-day detox starting August 23rd with an information call on August 21st. So that's something to look forward to and get ready for. Dr. Clint is doing a 7-day mind, body, and soul liberation retreat in Sedona, August 23rd to 29th. So that would be amazing to get to do. And he's also going to be doing a pulse clinic in Austin on Friday, November 20th. And so that's something that you can sign up for now. And Dr. Upur is going to be coming from India, and I am forgetting the dates. I'm so sorry. Dr. Clint, when is he coming?
No problem. Yeah, September 19th to 28th. And that's for a full 10-day Panchakarma. He's one of the world's best. And if anyone's interested in that or any of the things, we can post a link for the link tree. I'm grateful, Katie, for you sharing all those announcements. And
Yeah.
And a lot of us came from Ashland and Mount Shasta, where we had just gathered, and we actually are announcing soon that we'll be going back to Jackson Wellspring. So fun to see Jennifer on the call here from there. And yeah, it's going to be amazing to go back, and we want to prepare people in advance for that as well. Ariana, on these calls, we just celebrate the miracle of life. And one thing that amazes me is all around us, there's things that are alive that can nourish us and heal us. And sometimes we think they're weeds in our own garden, but it's medicine. And so the moments in our life, Dr. Ram says, whatever is our heartache, challenge, obstacle has within it seeds of equal or greater benefit. And I like that every Sunday call, we also share about some plant. And Ariana, I don't know if you could even just share real briefly about this plant, but it's amazing. And maybe Robin or Rodell can share the picture as she's sharing.
Yeah, that'd be great. There's a couple of pictures. Hello, everybody. Yes, I'm excited to talk about purslane today. Scientific name is Portulaca oleracea. But that's close. I'm better with the common names.
That was amazing.
Purslane, Purslane is a drought tolerant. It can be found in your garden a lot of the times. You might be pulling it out. Don't. It's really a great treat. It tastes a little bit like spinach. It's lemony. You can put it in salads. You can also stir fry it and fry it up in like some oil and some garlic. It's absolutely delicious. It has a lot of omega-3s, and it also has many vitamins and minerals, vitamin E, C, beta carotene, and other minerals like magnesium, potassium, and iron, for example. One of the things, do we have the picture at all of it? Because I want to talk about identifying it. It has a look-alike, and I want to make sure you don't pick the toxic look-alike, which is called spurge. This is spurge. This is what you don't want to pick. And it has hairs on the stems, and it has different colored little flowers. That's the main thing to look at. So if we can get to, can you put up the other picture of purslane? What we do want to eat. And then that'll be it. I don't want to take any more time. There we go. Yeah, it has the yellow flower, and you'll see that now these stems are smooth. They also can be a little bit of red in them, and they have the yellow flower. So it's always advisable to get a guidebook and make sure you know what you are picking. So look at those pictures closely. I don't want to take any more time. Thank you.
Yeah, just quickly, I want to add that this is another one that is high in oxalates. And it's tastes better raw. The texture's better raw. When you cook it, it can be kind of slimy. So that's something to watch out for. And one additional thing on the nutritional aspect is that it's high in glutathione, which is something that is hard for us to get. And this is a bioavailable form of that, which is important for immunity and for energy protection. That is all I will say today about that.
Thank you, thank you, thank you.
Yeah, thank you both. I just imagine, I'm thinking about Dr. Todd, his scientific mind, Cole, like his real sensitive, intuitive side, and both of their connection with nature. And then Cornelia can speak to Jim, but it's amazing actually to be alive and be curious. And, the ones that we're honoring, I feel like they had that. They're just curious, about what is this world, what's our bodies, what is the things around us. Todd, a master scientist of light, actually, laser at age 8, he was just fascinated by lasers and then figured out how to create stem cell technology where the stem cells in your own body become activated and the laser can guide the stem cells to the area you need in such a way that so much crazy, powerful healing happened. Brandy, even at the center in Costa Rica, helped so many people experience that. And then Cole, his curiosity. The first time I met him, it was really hard for him to be in groups of people because in his near-death experience, which he'll talk a little bit about today, we'll have some video clips, he just got spiritual gifts, but he could actually hear people's thoughts and feel their feelings, And when you're sensitive, you don't know how to, it's almost overwhelming. And I asked him on that call when he spoke on Sunday, what he learned about how to be in your own space. He's like, the one thing that actually helped me is unconditional love. It's not judging what other people are thinking or feeling, just loving them. That's so beautiful. So, Cornelia, I'm going to hand it to you, and then it'd be fun as we're in this silence. Just be thinking, if you knew Dr. Todd personally, if you knew Cole personally, what was one way in which their love impacted your life that you want to continue forward. That's one of the main questions of this call, even as I've been processing my own personal grief around, how can I have been there more? I realized that Dr. Ram, he says that the quality of our lives depends on the quality of our questions. And I saw the question I was asking wasn't helpful. What if I would have done more? It wasn't helping me, actually. But then I turned it to how has Cole's life, how did his life impact me? What did it make alive in me that I want to live? How did Dr. Todd, how did our relationship what did it make alive in me? What curiosity is there that I can still expand and grow? And how can that love remain active in me through what it makes alive in me? And so that's what I invite you in the silence to hold in your heart, and then we'll have some beautiful time to share. So, Cornelia?
Yeah, thank you. And we just want to take a couple of minutes to kind of really come from our head into our heart. And the best way to do that is actually to go into silence. And so I invite you now for just a couple of minutes to close your eyes. And in order to synchronize us all, let's all take a deep breath in and exhaling it with a sigh. And another deep breath in. And when you exhale, really make sure that you're exhaling longer than you're inhaling. And one more time. Inhale. And really let your exhale flow out. And then let's just sit in silence for 2 minutes and contemplate the questions that Clint just asked. Let's all slowly come back into the room. Again, the best way to do that is to kind of focus on your body for a moment. And the easiest way is to focus on the breath. So let's again take a deep breath in together. Exhale and wiggle your fingers, your toes, roll your shoulders or your head around. And whenever you're ready, open your eyes.
Thank you, Cornelia. While we're still in this moment of silence, actually, Rodell, if you can cue up the song. I feel like there's no accident we're on this call today. There's no accident that we have people in our life that we love. There's no accident for the impact they make on us and the impact we make on them. And yeah, so many gifts of being human and being embodied, and so many trials as well, And there's another quote that talks about you could go up to almost anyone, and instead of saying, "How are you?" you could say, "Where does it hurt?" And I think that the rawness of losing, I don't know, even the word losing is not quite accurate, but the rawness of missing in the physical way these people, for me, it's triggered sometimes it triggers like a feeling of regret. And like I spoke, I was asking the wrong questions. And so over the last week or so, as I've really been processing my grief and trying to redirect my mind from going to questions of what ifs, what if I would have spent more time and shared more of my love? And I realized that, life is a series of unfinished loving in some ways. Like we have so much love, and we can't love everyone completely in the physical body as we're living our lives also. And I think somehow they also understand that. And for whatever reason, this song came through to me that I just wanted to play at the beginning of this call. And as you're thinking about these people we love. And so I wanted to play this song and then have open space for people who knew Dr. Todd or Cole in particular, and then also Cornelia to share a little bit more about Jim. We'll have a little bit of time to share. And then I wanted to go to Afsena to talk about her experience when she was dead, and also Lisa Lowe, if she's able to come on the call. And then we'll continue to go into breakout rooms to ask everyone have a chance to share that wants to. And sometimes that's where the most powerful guidance of love comes in your sharing. And so having said that, I don't know, maybe I just invite you to close your eyes again one more time and feel in your heart the feeling of maybe even remembering the first time you met one or more of these people that we're talking about on the call, the unexpected gift that you didn't know was coming into your life of this teacher. Consider Cole my teacher. I consider Dr. Todd my teacher. Even Jim, even though I never met him, I consider him my teacher. Dr. Naram, and this young girl that my brother talked about. Maybe some other people in your life. Divine had some gift in store you didn't know was coming, to meet them and to feel their love, and choosing to love them, even though it meant that at a certain point our physical journey would end. And just as you're thinking about that love, I invite you to listen to the words of this song and feel it in your heart. And I invite Rodell, if you can play that song, you can keep your eyes closed and just listen to these lyrics and feel the words.
I've spent years collecting fingerprints from souls who walk beside me. Some stayed for a season, some stayed for a storm. Some taught me who I could be. A teacher in the mountains, a friend beneath the stars, a woman who saw straight through me and loved the broken parts. I thought love was holding on. I thought loss meant something failed. But time keeps teaching softer lessons, carried on a quieter trail. The love remains, though the story changes form. Like an ember after fire, like a shelter after storm. The love remains, not as possession, not as pain, just a blessing moving through me long after names and faces change. Faces change. I used to count the conversations I never got to have, the roads I didn't travel, the futures that I mapped. But grief has its own wisdom, and tears have their own prayer. They teach me every sacred meeting leaves a piece of heaven there. What if nothing went wrong? What if this was always true? Some people come to change your life, not stay and see it through. The love remains, though the chapter finds its end, in the laughter, in the lessons, in the ways we still extend. The love remains like moonlight on an empty road. Every soul I questions. The dreamers live inside the tries, and all the ones I've had to release have not been lost to time. Somehow they're standing on the path behind me, whispering gently, keep going now. I don't need to carry everyone, I don't need to make it right. I can thank them for the journey and still walk into my life. The love remains in the gardens that I tend, in the people yet to meet me, in the songs I haven't penned. Oh, the love remains, not unfinished, not undone, just becoming something larger in the heart of everyone. So here's to those who changed me, to every soul who came. Nothing holy is ever wasted, and the love remains. The love remains.
Thank you for listening to that with me. Nothing holy is ever wasted. The love remains. I actually, Rodell, if you could also queue up. First of all, I think Cole, the first clip that's about 4 minutes long. This is when he was on the call. Just want you to hear his voice, and for those who haven't met him physically, because his energy imprint on my life and the love that remains is remarkable. And we'll play two short clips from Cole, a short clip from Dr. Todd, and then we'll open up for people to share some of their memories of how love impacted you and what knowing them made alive in you. So, Rudell, if you can play that first clip from Cole.
The one who we're interviewing, and through his story, I learned so much. I gained so much. So many of the insights that he shared with me changed my heart and changed my life. And I was really looking forward to the moment, that right moment in which we could share him with all of you. And I don't know, Cole, is this the first time you're sharing your story publicly like this?
Yes, this is actually the very first time it'll be shared in this kind of setting. So this is, I'm super stoked, and yeah, I'm so excited to be able to share anything that could be helpful or, you know, insightful anyway. And yeah.
Good. Well, let's start with what happened with when you were younger, like, and your near-death experience. Like, can you just share that story so that way it gives people a context of kind of when things started to shift for you?
Yeah, so it was when I was 16 years old was when, just a couple months after my 16th birthday was when my near-death experience occurred. It was, I would call it it was a freak accident where, a little bit graphic, but a chainsaw, I was chainsawing logs, and a chainsaw, it kicked back and it actually nearly decapitated me. And it cut through all my flesh and actually severed my jugular completely. And I was essentially witnessing myself bleeding to death in front of my own eyes. I actually saw blood just come out of my neck like a geyser. And by so many miracles, I actually survived that incident. My dad was not supposed to be present that day, but he just happened to be there right before this thing happened. And about, I would say, a minute after this occurred, I somehow allowed myself to surrender to my death. I saw that I was going to die, and for some reason it just, something clicked. And the second when I accepted my death in that moment, I was hit by this experience of, it was this expansiveness that I felt inside of me. it felt like I was expanding into something greater in my body. And as soon as that happened, it was like everything went right perfectly just to keep me alive. We made it to the hospital like way faster than we should have, and we were like, he was just blowing through all these stop signs, like skipping all these lights, traffic lights and everything, and cars were just getting out of the way. We got to the hospital. There was EMTs coming right into the building right as we showed up, and they got me right inside, and it was amazing how everything worked out. And I came out of that experience. I never quite was able to see things the same after that moment. It was this veil kind of lifted off me, where I was never able to perceive death the same way, because it wasn't scary or tragic at all. It was actually like a really beautiful thing that I felt like it was just like you're moving on to the next thing. I was a young child before that day that was terrified of the thought of dying, and when I was actually faced with my death right in front of me, there was no fear, there was nothing, there was no regrets, there was no anxieties. It was just beautiful. And ever since that moment, that's changed my view on what death meant to me and what life meant to me. And from that point on, it's led me to a completely different life path that I never thought I would have, because I was completely against things like spirituality and awakening and anything to do with anything mystical. That was not for me before then, but I was definitely pushed into that direction through this, and the journey of recovering from this accident that happened.
Mm. We're going to play a second little clip here. Cole described that some spiritual gifts came to him also in this, and awarenesses about life and death that he never expected. And I like this next little clip. Rodell, if you can cue this one up and play the second clip.
Through this experience, it's cultivated there's this inner drive in me, this motivation to seek something that is beyond anything material, that I could never have had the willingness or the drive to that before, because there would just be no reason to. I was just some dumb kid that, I had a lot of other things I could have done with my life, but because of this pain that I was feeling, it was inescapable in my perspective. I had this enormous desire to find the truth in that, to understand that we have this incredible potential in this. I felt it briefly, and I felt it since, and my whole life has been dedicated to pursuing that greater potential that exists in every human being. How magnificent we are. We're so much more brilliant than we can even imagine. And just having those little instances of feeling infinite in your body, and every time I feel it, I just think I want to bring more of this into my body. I don't want to have to go anywhere to feel this magnificence, to become magnificent. I wanted to realize it into my physical form. And I thought, what better way to realize this magnificence than to take my body that's been, all the doctors I've been to have told me that I would never fully recover from this, if at all. And my right arm was paralyzed for over a year after this accident happened. And 4 years later, I'm actually fully confident that I will fully recover from this.
It's beautiful. He goes on to talk about how he's in his awareness, he could feel every cell of his body, and he could tell that his arm was 67% better. He even knew that specific percent. I just want to open up for those that knew Cole, either in the chat or you can unmute yourself and share. What did knowing him and loving him make alive in you? So what is it that knowing him, his impact on you made alive in you? I don't know, Melissa, if you're willing to go first, if you have something that you want to share. But yeah, Shifra, Cole is one of the ones we're honoring who's just passed.
Sure, I'll share. Cole and I were really close, and we would talk for hours. He's just the most beautiful, like innocent and deep person that I've met. He was he was there for me through so many challenging times, and like I would talk for a long time, and then he would just distill like into 1 to 3 sentences, like every little bit into and I'm like, oh, that's exactly what I needed to hear or whatnot. But he just that curiosity, and his laughter, like I still like if anybody here has heard him laugh, it's just like nothing you'll ever forget. It's like he's just like, and he could just laugh at himself too, It's just, and I think that I'll always like remember, always remember that, like being able to like laugh at himself. But yeah, he just distilled in me like this like childlike curiosity and like this just beautiful innocence and just his sensitivity. I think I'm sensitive, but not quite as sensitive as he is, and it was just really soothing for me to be in his presence because yeah, it was just easy, and yeah, I'm gonna miss him so so much, but he's I do feel him. We're so connected. I feel him now, and I do believe that he is in a really beautiful place. And yeah, Cole's just amazing, and yeah, I don't have much more to say because it's still really hard. But yeah.
Thank you, Melissa. I don't know, Eric, if you'd feel willing to share as his best friend, like what did he make alive in you? I don't know if you'd be willing to share a little bit even, but.
There, I'm Eric Melchizedek. From day one till the final day, on Earth at least, Cole has shown me that magic is real. Cole showed me that him and I and others like Melissa and Rochelle felt like we were literally living in an actual Harry Potter supernatural type movie all the time. It felt very cinematic to be around him and to be on his journey, especially for the brief moment that I got to share with him in Ecuador, which is where not only did he soar like the condor, but I was able to fulfill a prophecy of reuniting the eagle with the condor and then bring that magic back to the United States, back to North America. We shared a lot of dreams together, both literally and multidimensionally. We were very close, almost two inseparable souls, creating one giant soul. And weirdly enough, him and I would go over the scenario pretty often. It may seem strange, but we would contemplate philosophically the afterlife all the time. We would go over what we would do if case one of us happened to pass away, how we would navigate the astral realm or higher, what angels or specific deities would we work with in case we did pass away, including to make sure we made an agreement with one another that I wouldn't follow after him and he wouldn't follow after me. We would at least simply hold space for one another on two thresholds of the same universe, 1 foot in one world and 1 foot in another. I'm still taking it very harshly, because I was one of the last people he saw before pretty drastic changes started taking over him. He wasn't the Cole that I remembered, but he will always be the Cole that I honor and cherish. And him and I were both going through a lot and both enduring major battles on this earth plane and other planes of existence simultaneously. And he's shown me what it's like to be a true warrior, a true guide, and a true way shower in the light and beyond. I will always remember him, and I will always cherish him. And I wish I can be in Ecuador right now for the memorial that's happening down there today also. And at some point, I'll be in Washington State with his family to help his family out when the time arises. So thank you.
Oh, so beautiful, Eric. So powerful. Can you imagine having a friend that close and on that many dimensions and that kind of conversations at that age? If we could just send a lot of love to Eric and Melissa, all the new Cole, those in Ecuador gathering, his family. We love you and we're with you, Eric, and Melissa, and Cole's family and friends. It's so remarkable, Eric. It's just like, for me, Cole activated in me just a recognition that things I don't see, just because I don't see them doesn't mean they're not real, and they're powerful. And that instead of seeking teachers outside of me, the best teacher is the things inside of me. Like, he is a big proponent of that. And yeah, thank you so much. So anyone else who has other things to share
Yes.
about Cole,
Hey,
we're gonna
Clint,
yeah, please.
this is Rochelle. Thank you so much
Oh,
for doing this,
please.
Dr. Clint. I appreciate you. I just want to say some things because, yeah, I met Cole about 6 years ago at a Dr. Joe retreat, and he had had a Kundalini experience. And me and Dr. Hillary basically babysat him the whole weekend as he started to open up um, his gifts, and his chakras came online. And so I became his spiritual mother, and he actually came home. We started connecting. He lives about 45 minutes from me, and along with Melissa and a few other friends in the area, we started connecting with them. For a couple of years, we've lost touch. And then Cassidy, a mutual friend of ours, reached out to me about 3 weeks ago and said, "Hey, I think Cole's in trouble. He could use some love, some support." And so we did connect the night before he transitioned, and we spoke for 2.5 hours. And he was so full of hope and so full of love. And there was definitely some sadness there, but he knew he still had a fulfillment. But in speaking with him, you said, "How did he make you feel?" There was so much love still in his heart, even though he was suffering, even though he was confused and wasn't quite sure what his outcome would be. He was still so love. It was like that. We talked about it's like the beloved and the lover. He still has so much love. We talked about Jesus Christ. We talked about God, and he still was so in love with this process, this curiosity. We talked about Rudolf Steiner. We talked about his travels. He just was such a curious soul, and kept his heart open no matter what. Even through, I know, this last painful part for him, he still loved everyone so much, so much. So I just want to say that Cole has just remind me to keep your heart open, stay curious. He was so in love with people. He had such a forgiving heart, such a forgiving nature. Even if someone had wronged him or he had felt that he was hurt by them, he was so easy to forgive and love. So I just want to send love to his beautiful family, all of his friends, and yes, he is in a better place, and he'll be visiting us all soon, I'm sure. So thank you so much.
Oh, thank you so much for that share. And I know other people will probably have shares. I see that Kamal put in the chat, and anyone else, because we're going to move a little bit, but you'll have a chance to share in the breakout rooms more as well. I want to go actually, Rodell, if you could pull up the little video with Dr. Todd. But I want to send some of these messages to Cole's family about what he made alive in us, what his love made alive, and then also to Dr. Todd's family. So if you could just play this short video first, Rodell, about Dr. Todd, for those that were in, I'm sorry, is that Noelle? You wanted to share
Oh,
something?
I'm so sorry. I didn't even know I was on. Am I on now?
Yeah, you are on. Yeah. Are you bummed because you want to share something about Cole?
Both Dr. Todd and Cole have completely impacted my life. But I found out this morning about Cole. And Cole and I, again, connected through Dr. Joe. And over the years, we have spoken so many times. He would call me from Ecuador. He would tell me what was going on. It was like he was the genius. I had some wisdom, and like so many people who have just spoken, it was a really profoundly beautiful relationship. But yesterday, I went to a psychic, somebody, just out of the blue. And at one point, she said, "Do you have male friends who have passed?" And I'm like, "Yeah." I did not know Cole was deceased yet. And so she said, "Well, he's got dark hair and he's tall." And I was like, maybe it was this particular person. And he said, "Well, he wants to say thank you. You helped me so much. And if you ever need any help with contracts or any business, just call on me." And so I was like, okay, it didn't really make sense about the other person. And then when I was informed this morning, I was like, oh my God, that was Cole. And it made me, I was devastated when I heard that, but it made me think, okay, we are all connected to him with just a quick hey, And so I am like so profoundly grateful for that. And then secondly, this is the Dr. Todd share. He also will live with me forever. His technology and his laser are currently helping my 24-year-old son who has had a really hard life. And we brainstem injury we weren't aware of. And now through his technology and a doctor, one of his associates, my son is beginning to heal. And so he and our family is changing and our lives are healing.
Wow, that's so amazing.
So it's amazing. So both of these people will have impacted me, and I'm so grateful for both of them. And I adored Cole like a son. And anyway, that's it. I just wanted to share that he showed up yesterday.
Oh, that is so beautiful.
And so I feel like everybody should know.
Yeah,
like they're all there. They're all there for us.
I'm so glad you shared that. And I know, not only Dr. Todd did the laser, but also the tonal choirs and many things. I just want to have a couple people, other people who knew Dr. Todd even before we share this video of him singing the Song of the Whales. I don't know if Brandy's still on the call. Nate, if you want to share something or
someone.
Yeah, what
I could share something.
Okay, please.
Well, this is the craziest confluence because I was at that Dispenza event where Cole had that Kundalini awakening, and Eric was there, and Rochelle was there, and Dr. Melissa, and we even go further back. But then somebody just sent me your memorial, for this. And I was like, how did Dr. Todd and Cole intersect? But well, I first heard Dr. Todd talk like 2 years ago at TCCHE, and at the end, he did this whale call. And I'm like, trying not to laugh, but my heart center is just exploding. And I'm like, who is this alchemist? I need to know who this is. And long story short, we were going to work on a book together. And, I got to spend some time with them, and our mirror neurons would always be like, we do that same thing. I don't if you know Dr. Todd, but it's like, how about that? And anyway, I thought like Todd was going to be like, this friend for life. And of course he is. And that was my sister who spoke before. And he's definitely I don't know. I've never met anybody like him. So, and also I just want to say, Dr. Clint, thank you so much for this. It's I'm just walking in nature, and you got Oprah vibes because there's just tears coming down especially when you played that song. So thank you so much.
What do you feel Dr. Todd made alive in you, Tim? What knowing him, what did it activate in you?
I mean, I think we already said it, the curiosity of the people's questions.
Yeah.
And I was just like, where is this guy's mind like from? And then I actually interviewed him. I think he was like on my podcast. It was like episode 3 or something like that. And he shared his whole like Kundalini experience. And I'll just share this, but he said he shot out of his body and he was kind of in front of these 2 big pearly gates, and he called them these huge Alibaba looking dudes with swords. And he said, you have permission to enter, but anybody who goes in here and misuses this information dies a painful death. He told this on the podcast. I was like, this is wild for a scientist to be telling this. And anyway, he went into that room and there were these just coils and coils and coils of DNA. And that's how he started to unravel this whole thing. And then at one point he was talking very technical. And I'm like, he's like, you understand, right? I'm like, yeah, sure. But yeah, it's just I just can't believe that. And thank you, Eric, for letting me know.
That is so powerful. Thank you, Tim. Nate, I know that you have to leave soon, and we're going to go a little bit over on this call just because of the impact of it. And so, but Nate, if you have anything, what did knowing Dr. Todd make active in you? And then also, Rodell, if you can cue up that picture of Dr. Todd's arrival that Nate made, I just want to show that as well.
Yeah, so Dr. Todd, you know, it's so beautiful to see so many of my dear soul family here. Some of us met Dr. Todd at the same time, some of whom I introduced Dr. Todd to. Some people were introduced to me through Dr. Todd. You know, as I go through my own personal, we'll just say it's a healing journey from a brain tumor that can't be touched. Dr. Todd was one of the first people that reached out to me when he found out. And, you know, I've had amazing dinners with Dr. Todd. He trained with my Vibrovision company when I owned that. And so we got a chance to actually grow together in a lot of different ways. When I was with you, Clint, and actually Gerald and I arose in Sedona, and Dr. Todd just out of the blue called me up on stage at the Cryon event to talk. And I was like, whoa, to allow me to share my message. That was something that was beautiful about Dr. Todd, even though literally, and I think we can all agree with this, that he was always the smartest man in the room. I mean, what a brilliant soul. Well, if you're the Lemurian knowledge keeper, I guess you're going to be that. But he was always willing to learn from other people and give them their opportunity to shine too, from my experience. And when I heard that Dr. Todd had changed his address, so to speak, and that's really all it is, I just immediately dropped into meditation, and I was pouring my thanks and my love to Dr. Todd for everything that he taught me, but on behalf of humanity, what he did. And, you know, he invited me to Stockholm when he was nominated for the Nobel Peace Prize, and I wasn't able to make it. I really wanted to go. And I have to say that Dr. Todd, we can all agree, there is no one and there will never be anybody like Dr. Todd, from singing to whales, being one of the most incredible dancers, singer, psychic, magnate, really, and always willing to help other people. I mean, what an amazing example of how to live a great life. And I don't know how his transition happened, and it doesn't really matter at this point because he's everywhere now.
And I love this image. Can you see the image that Nate created? Yeah. Todd's arrival with the LSA celebration. What I imagine Dr. Todd did the first thing when he arrived, like this disco suit, singing to the whales, the ancestors all celebrating. So beautiful.
Absolutely. And the reason I mentioned about introducing people to Dr. Todd introducing me to people and us meeting each other at the same time is there are zero accidents at all for us to come together. And that happens not just for Dr. Todd, but for every single person that we ever come in contact with. There's always a message behind that, and there's never an accident of why we cross paths. And he's a very good reminder of that. So I do need to go to another soul meeting right now. But I want to say I love you all. Thank you so much. And
we could just send Nate some love, especially with whatever he's going through with his tumor, and just that there's some divine reason for everything that's happening. We love you, Nate. We're with you.
I love you too. Thank you, guys. Bye-bye.
Brandy, I don't know if you have a
Yes,
moment to
I'm
just
with
unmute
you.
yourself. What did Dr. Todd make alive in you? You know, you worked so closely over so many years, and
Yeah, 13 years of working with Dr. Todd and getting to watch all the miracles. Hundreds of people at Rhythmia who would come with an intention to heal, and we would track them 6 months later, and even more miracles and more healing than they even expected would happen from his technology. And through all those years, he became one of my dearest friends, and we got to work with ayahuasca together and go into those realms, which just, even without ayahuasca, I feel like we're always in those realms together with Dr. Todd, because his consciousness was just so expansive and boundless. And I always would say he lives like in a sci-fi fiction movie. And like no conversation was at all off limits or strange. We could talk about anything and everything. And sometimes I would trip out that I was like actually sitting with a Pleiadian that wasn't, and I would say he's not even in disguise as a human. He's actually just a full Pleiadian that just came right in and is just sitting right next to me. Like, how crazy. And so, and it was funny because we both come from the Cryon community. And so when he came into my business and I realized we had that connection, the funny part was that I would always Cryon, for anyone that doesn't know, is like a channel of a Pleiadian consciousness. And he would channel, Lee Carroll would channel, you know, technologies and wisdom and information from the Pleiadian star mother and consciousness. And actually, Dr. Todd was connected to Lee Carroll because he was channeling this technology. And when Dr. Todd heard about it, he said, well, that's impossible. No one could understand this. I need to meet this person. And when they came together, when the channel Cryon came through, he told Dr. Todd, you know, that he was this high priest from Lumeria that was bringing back an ancient technology to the planet that would extend life expectancy. And so I actually, when I would listen to Cryon, I actually used to skip through anything about Pleiadians because I actually didn't want to hear about it. And it wasn't until I started having my own experiences with plant medicine that I went down those roads. And Dr. Todd and I became extremely close. And he was just always so supportive with anyone who needed help. You know, he would help people if they couldn't afford it. If if anybody came with a problem, he would drop anything to help someone. He was one of the most generous human beings I ever met, and just a complete force of creation, just a wide open channel that was just so tapped into these star systems and ancient future technology. So his life, the way it impacted me, was just remembering that is in all of us, and you know, just getting to experience what having a friend and an awakened master as a friend that touched me so much. And it blows my mind, you know, because I always knew that about him, but just while he's gone, it's mind-bending that we got to be with him and we got to experience him. Like, it's no different than if Jesus was your friend or Krishna was your friend, or like, yeah, it's mind-bending that he even existed, you know? And so I'm just grateful that I was able to know him so intimately and witness all the miracles that he brought to this planet, and to be on his team to continue bringing that technology forward. And he was one of the most purest, innocent souls, like seriously, like a child. and just a remembering of just a remembering of that innocence that's in all of us. It was just beautiful to have a grown man embody that child so
Yeah.
full on. Like literally he was not an adult. And that's why he was so fun and brought so much joy and playfulness. It was no different than hanging out with like my daughter Ray. It was just contagious joy and fun and creative force running through him. And so I'm going to miss him so much. And that's why it's so hard, you know? So thank you for putting
Mm.
this together, Clint. Thank you so much.
And it's really beautiful. Even Eric talking about, his soul's interconnection with Cole's, Dr. Todd and his wife, their love story, and that it's really two the same soul but in different bodies. And then even I remember Brandy telling him, when his wife was also in the middle of passing, to contact me, and we had beautiful meditation prayer services every day and just connected in such a beautiful way. And even when Dr. Todd was helping different people, different parts of the world, he would say, "Oh, Clint, what can ancient secrets do?" Like he never came from knowing everything. He came from, what else can we do? Like
Yeah.
the possibilities of it,
Yeah.
and when we were in Sedona together, like you said, the child, like he came to the Red Rock ecstatic dance and danced with us on the rocks as the moon came up. And as the moon just rose, I put my head on his chest and I said, "Can you do the sound of the whales?" And my head was on his chest vibrating as the moon is coming up over Sedona. It was like, it's so magical. Every moment with him was just wondrous, And we have a clip of him dancing. We have a clip of him singing the whale song. But I just wanted to just acknowledge also, we're gonna be going into breakout rooms soon. But when I was in Sedona and I had a chance on the stage of Cryon to share, I shared about the love of mothers, and he was always in connection with his star mother, like communication. But then I shared about the love of mothers and how mothers can create miracles, and I shared about Afsena's story. And when we came off the stage, he said to me, he's like, "I think that may have been the most remarkable presentation I have ever heard." And he was not beyond the reality that people can die and come back, and that resurrection exists actually in a certain kind of a way. And Afsena, I don't know if this is an appropriate time, but before some people may need to leave the call a little bit earlier, but I just want you to share your experience of being dead and what was that like. 48 minutes, your heart stopped, your brain activity stopped, 3 doctors signing your death certificate. And Dr. Todd, when he heard the video of you sharing, he was so excited because it was a topic that interested him very much. And I was saying, if you could just share for a few moments. And I know there's more people that want to share how Dr. Todd, how Cole impacted you. Cornelia, I want you to share about grieving. And on next Sunday's call, we're going to share even in more depth. But I just want Afsana, if you can just share for even a few minutes your experience of being dead.
Of course, thank you very much. And such an honor to be on this call. And Brandy, you made me cry with what you said. I just need to explain that I had been in coma and my heart wasn't beating properly. My lungs were not working. I was having difficulty breathing and I was connected to many machines, as well as my kidney function, my function and liver function, lung function, everything was slowly stopping. And Dr. Clint had left a message for my sister, and my heart was very slow. The machine was going very, very slowly. And all the doctors had been telling my mom, my sister is a neurosurgeon herself, that say your goodbyes, and if you want anybody to say goodbye to her, to bring her. To cut the long story short, every time my sister had played the voice of Dr. Clint, my heart rate went higher. And at one point she thought it was a coincidence, and then she did it again. She called my cousin into the room, and every time she played that, my heart rate went higher. And so eventually I left my body, and I had the most fascinating experience of my life. I believe that I was blessed to have gone through that. I went through a big thing before ending up in hospital. I was badly poisoned, put it that way. And I didn't see my body when I left it. All I know is that I was surrounded, and I keep saying it, is the whitest of the whitest of the white. It's very shiny white place, but you have an awareness of everything. And it is, you know, all the earthly feelings like anger, like shame, being scared, worried, anxiety, love, it just doesn't exist there. You are full of love. You are a different, and you feel you are literally surrounded by this love that I cannot explain how that is. But it really, there is really, I can never, I tried to write all of these down and I couldn't find the right words because I didn't know how to describe that feeling of really, really, really unconditional love. So during the time that I was in coma, I must mention this. Actually, I would have really died forever if it hadn't been for Dr. Clint and his teachings, and if I hadn't taught them to my sister and my mom. They immediately after I'd gone to coma, they started putting the milk on the right side. And I don't know if you have read this book, which I carry with me, and I live with it every day because I need it all the time. Ancient Secrets of a Master Healer by my Dr. Clint G. Rogers. And that part of the book, I'd asked my sister to check my translation into Farsi. And how amazing that because of that, she could remember, and she put the milk and the onions, and that helped me kind of, you know, get better. And all I can say is the moment that when you are up there, you're aware of literally everything, and they talk about expansion. You are the world. You're not comparing yourself with something. You're not.
Yeah, you're connected with everything.
With everything, you are
pure
it.
love. Yeah.
You know, you are it. It's like saying, if you are in water, you are water. So when you are there, you are there. You are it.
Yeah. Something else that was remarkable.
I felt the presence of Dr. Pankaj Naram, and often I question myself if that happened because I so much admired that man, as through Dr. Clint, of course, and he gave me a beautiful white, what do you call it? The
lily.
Lily, water, the water lily, the white, vibrant white, which had a message for me. And yes, and when I passed, my mom wouldn't let the doctors take me. They had recorded the time of my death, and 3 different doctors had come. My sister had tried to move my mom from the room as they were covering my face, and she had pulled the sheet, the white sheet, away and asked the doctors to leave. And but whilst I was there, I had a knowing that I would be absolutely fine very soon. There was no pain. Before that, the poison that I had been injected with was burning inside of my body. So my whole body was engulfed basically, and it was kind of burning. And sorry, it's a very emotional time because I experienced what happened then. And but when you leave your body, there is absolutely nothing. There is no pain. There is just this vast happiness and love that you feel, and you are just so happy to be there.
Mm.
And since then, somebody was saying that as a child, I think it was, I actually remember that call with Cole, that when he was talking about, being scared of death. And after that, I just thought to myself, why are we all so worried when somebody passes away? Shouldn't we actually be happy that they have crossed over for a better, wonderful, to go somewhere beautiful? And shouldn't we just be happy that to have been blessed, to have our lives being kissed by them, being touched by them? And then maybe the love that we would have for them, perhaps we should be giving it to people that are alive and around us rather than crying. And there is a video that I'm sure Dr. Clint can now release it when they were filming. But I want to share one more thing about ancient secrets if I have time, Dr. Clint, just very short.
Yeah, how about like 1 minute or less?
Yes.
Okay.
When they were filming me, they took me to see a doctor, and he was using bioresonance. And on the machine, it showed that I had blocked gallbladder. And he did a blood test. Do you remember the day, Dr. Clint, that we witnessed quantum
That's amazing.
entanglement?
Yeah.
He took my blood before Dr. Clint did some marma points, which he had also sent to my mom. And then he took the blood test after the marma. The one before was showing that my blood cells, red blood cells, were all clumped together like coins stuck together. After Dr. Clint did the marma, the blood showed that all the cells were just moving beautifully, freely. And the director, CP Ross, she asked the doctor to put the first blood sample and check it on the screen. And he was adamant that nothing would change. But when he put it, it was exactly like the blood test that he did after the marmas. So
Yeah, can I just share in brief? So the cells that were outside of her body, the blood cells, the doctor said they'll be all decrepit by now. But by enacting a change in her body, and the doctor even said it's like the light goes into every cell of the body, even the cells outside of the body got better. And what I love about that is, in Eric sharing about the connection, and Brandy, we're talking about the connection between Dr. Todd and his wife and our interconnection with each other. Just from you deciding to live in more light and love, it affects generations before and after you, And so I think that gives me a lot of hope. I'm saying, if we could just put our hands together and in everything that's happening in your family, your community, your mother, your sister, everybody. I love you and I'm with you, Afsana. I'm so grateful for you.
Love you and I'm with you.
Yeah, oh, beautiful. And Lisa,
and I love you all very much.
We're gonna be going into breakout rooms very soon. But before that, I want to give a teaser for next Sunday. And Cornelia, her experience with Jim is so profound. And then Lisa, who also, her heart was stopped for 6 hours. And she said something very similar to you, and she'll have a chance to just share. Next Sunday, they're going to share more in depth about just the process of grieving and of, facing death, but discovering life. And so Cornelia, if you can give a little teaser, and Lisa, if you can give a teaser, I'd love for you to be able to share, Cornelia.
Yeah, I mean, some of the things that have been said today, and it is really about celebrating the life that the people have that leave us. And yeah, they are gone. And for me, living with the person for so long and he just being part of my daily life and now coming home every day and he's no longer here, of course, you miss them. But for me, it is really very quickly, it was very obvious the gift he had given me by him leaving when he did. And what really touched me, Clint, in the song that you played and that you wrote was that one line where he said, I can walk into my life. And that is really the gift that he gave me, because the outlook was that he would be I have going through a serious treatment, and that would have meant that I would have been kind of taking care of him more or less 24/7. And by him passing so quickly within just 4 weeks, he actually gave me the gift of my taking back my life. And he said so many times, you haven't signed up for that. And so he kind of, and when he passed away so quickly, I knew that he also did it for himself, that he left so quickly. And he always believed that he would go to heaven anyway, whatever that meant for him. And but that he also gave me the gift of living. And I will share about how I went through that phases of different grief and next week, and what it has really shown me what is important in that process of grieving in order to really come to terms with somebody dying so unexpectedly.
Thank you so much, Cornelia. I look forward to that so much. And Lisa, she's been a part of our community, Ancient Secrets community. She actually was part of the course Dr. Naram and I taught in Germany. And knew Dr. Naram personally when he passed. She would give me messages from him, always connected between both worlds. And then she, this last year, had her own experience of, oh man, crazy health thing where she died. It was basically dead. 6 hours, her heart was stopped intentionally as she was recovering. And Lisa, what did you discover through that? Just a little teaser for next week, even sharing more.
Hi. Well, there's too much to talk about because it's so fantastical, right? So, in short, in brief, I mean, basically, don't worry. Just don't worry about. I mean, I have a minute, a second to talk here. I wouldn't worry about life and death. And I would just pray for the people that did pass, just to send them messages, because crying and grieving, is not as helpful. Just being joyful for them, and they're all fine. Believe me, I was traveling the cosmos when they shut my heart down for 6 hours. So I went everywhere, and I can talk about it later. But we're coming into a new period in our human life here where more and more things are going to be more connected to the other side of everything, and we just don't have to have the grief and sadness like we have been. We can move and merge on to something else. And I could tell my story another time because I know you're short on time, but I mean, there's definitely all kinds of life everywhere, and you don't die.
I'm excited for you to share your full story. When she was talking to me earlier, she said that this life is more magnificent than we realize. And when she died, there wasn't regret about anything. There's just, I would have liked to have looked at the stars, more often, or smelled the flowers, or connected with the beauty.
Yeah. It's better not to focus
Yeah.
on all the misery, or the sadness. Take a moment and go through it, and then, start enjoying everything, because it is quite beautiful here if you really pay attention instead of all the puzzles we got to figure out. It's beautiful over there too, but choice over there is automatic, and things move pretty fast, depending where you're at and what you want to do. But here, we get such we're more anchored in this realm, so we have more time to sit and blend with the environment, and it's not the same as it's different over there. So enjoy each time, enjoy wherever you're at, learn as much as you can and enjoy this realm while you're here too. So and so I'm back. I was supposed to be dead, and some miracle that my heart just refused to when they tried to start it back up, it just started pounding like crazy. The doctor said that I wasn't planning on leaving, so not yet anyways. And sorry, I'm outside, it's cold here, so I'm shivering a bit, but
I just think it's so great to hear your voice, Lisa, and I'm so excited to hear more next Sunday. Yeah. I wonder if, Rodell, if you could cue up the video of Dr. Todd singing the Song of the Whales, because Lisa talked about how connected everything is, and also the gift of being alive in this body now.
Yeah.
And what did these people activate in us? And so as we go into the breakout rooms, we're each going to have a chance to share what's activated in you, maybe through this call. What did love teach you? Or what from hearing the stories of these amazing people, or your personal experience with them, or someone else that you love that you're thinking of that's coming into your awareness right now, what was activated in you? What did love activate in you through them that we can live in this life, in this day, in this moment, in this time? And so, Rodell, if you could play that video of Dr. Todd. This is at our Sedona event. And Giovanni also sent a little video that I'll post in the WhatsApp group. If anyone who's not in our WhatsApp group or mailing list wants to join, just let us know and we'll make sure you get on that. But I'll share that video of Dr. Giovanni there. But go ahead, Rodell.
So he would dive to the bottom of the ocean to listen to their sound so he could replicate it through his voice and his body.
And the recording wasn't just in the ears, it was all the cells of the body. So it's a total body cellular replay. So here's, at your request, a little bit of whale like Finding Nemo.
All right, Rodell, you can go ahead and pause that, and we'll make sure everyone has access to it. But he would tell a story of how he would sing this song into the ocean at different points, and then all these whales would surface. It's like amazing that he came with that knowledge and that knowing, and was able to communicate with the whales. And so, what if we can communicate in our heart with whatever forces of love are with us, Dr. Todd, Cole, Jim, any of the people that we've mentioned, and listen to what does love want to teach us? What has love activated in us through that meeting? Listen to that communication and let it be alive in us. And so we're going to go into the, I don't know if Cornelia or who can set up the breakout rooms. Maybe Cornelia, if you can set up, so breakout rooms have 3 or 4 people in it. But I'd encourage you to stay on if you can, and just have a chance to share from your heart. But right now we have a tradition in the Ancient Secrets. You can actually unmute yourself, and we just put our hands together, and then after a minute, Cornelia, you can mute everyone, but you just put your hands together like this, and you can unmute yourself and just say, I love you, and I'm with you.
I love you and I'm with you.
You
and I'm with you.
I love you and I'm with you. I love you and I'm with you.
With you.
And I'm with you.
I love
And I'm with you.
I'm with you.
I love you and I'm with you. I
Love you
love you
and
and
I'm
I'm
with
with
you.
you.
Love you and I'm with you.
You and I am with you.
And I'm with you.
I love you and I'm with you.
So beautiful. All right, Cornelia, if you can, now, thank you so much. I love you and I'm with you. Thank you for taking time to gather with your heart open. And as you go into this breakout room, I encourage you to also continue to have your heart open for what love can teach you and speak through you. So go ahead, Cornelia, you can activate the breakout rooms and stop the recording.
The recording has stopped.